Welcome to the Comic Scoop, everyone, and happy St. Patrick's Day! No. We aren't going to be doing a video of all things green today, but in fact we'll be reviewing the new releases for this past Wednesday, March 16, 2022. Alright, we're over here at my symbiote box. We got Scorch from Spawn Universe, we got Carnage, and starting off with our brand new releases of the week is going to be Marvel's Carnage. This is a variant cover done by Mark Bagley and Delgado. Bagley, one of the original creators of Carnage himself. This is a cool story written by Ram V and Francisco Mana is the artist. Take a moment to admire that. Really neat story. Does the kind of thing, starts off in the end, gets to this big climactic point with Mr. Fantastic being torn apart through reality. And now we go all the way back to the beginning. So we follow this detective, Jonathan Shade, who is searching for a serial killer. I believe they call him the artist, or... but anyway, this is we find this body here that's kind of hung over a canvas, and this person has an MO of leaving things very theatrical, and these butterflies burst out of this corpse, with spilling blood all over the canvas, and it reveals the spiral, the symbol of Carnage. Back from Cult of Carnage. Now, after that, we then get to meet a Kenneth Neely, aka the artist. This is, in fact, the serial killer has been leaving these trails, and we have him here with one of his victims. He explains a little bit of his backstory, how his dad was a mortician, and he grew attached to these grotesque moments. And he's been doing all this, hoping to invoke his god, Carnage, who comes to greet him. And now Carnage, this is just a symbiote. Cleese Cassidy is no longer a part of the symbiote, and the Carnage symbiote is just kind of feeling things out on its own, and even shows this artist how it doesn't need a new host, which is what the guy is hoping to become. If you remember in the last Carnage video I had, where there's the one story with Hydro Man, well, we get to see what he's done with Hydro Man here, and honestly, I'm not completely sure what is exactly happening, but through dialogue, Carnage is, I guess, going to use the water abilities that Hydro Man has to a further extent than what Hydro Man has used it for. And so he's created some sort of portal there. It's really curious to see where this is going to go. I'm really excited. I like this one a lot. And it ends with the detective meeting up right here, which actually maybe that's who it was in the beginning. Yeah, that's probably him and not Mr. Fantastic, but he's stretched out just like Reed Richards is, and he's bearded now too. That's my mistake there. But just like the last Carnage comic that came out, this is not the standalone story in here. So after that, we have another little story by Dave Michelini and Ron Lin. And this one's really cute. I guess cute is the word. But here's this little runaway from a juvenile detention center, and he's staying at the burnt down remains of the home for boys that Cleese Cassidy grew up in. And he is basically looking for Carnage to get some revenge for him, for these bullies in the juvie. And Carnage, actually, I kind of like how Carnage is saying, oh, well, I'm an agent of chaos, so I don't do yeah, I'm not a hired killer. And then the kid twists it around. It's like, well, that's the beauty of it. What if, you're always killing innocent people? What if you kill a bunch of bad guys instead? Isn't that what chaos is? So, of course, Carnage is down. And, you know, aside from what the main story is going on, the Cletus Cassidy is definitely still the host of the symbiote here. But Carnage goes and does what he does best and maims everyone. I really love this where he's just like, all right, you guys got to stick together, smushes them into one. Slaps around some people here, blows up this truck. And the whole time, the kid who brought him here is like appalled, which I have no idea what this kid expected to happen. This is my favorite part, where he sees the one kid trying to climb up the fence, and he's like, "Hey, that's gonna take you too long. How about you go through it?" Which they don't show, unfortunately. But yeah, it ends with the kid. He's about to kill the leader of this gang that was bothering him, and he decides against it because he's not a killer. And I'm wondering if this story will also like have a continuation in the next part. I'm wondering if this new Venom or Carnage series is gonna be you know like an anthology, I guess, minus the one ongoing main story. And then we have another story here by Ty Templeton, which is this is actually cute, unlike the last one, I guess. But we have kind of like a Snoopy Peanuts parody here, and I just really enjoy the Peanuts type of style. It's pretty fun. The Watcher of If. So, speaking of, we'll transition from this new release by Marvel and go into the next number one of Marvel, Reckoning War, Trial of the Watcher. Now, this is a Peach Momoko cover. I really love how much is going on in here. A lot of her covers at times is more focused on like a particular character or a portion, and this is the entire cover from top to bottom. Has a little something going on there. Alright, so Reckoning War. This is written by Dan Slott and drawn by Javier Rodriguez. We have the Watcher of the 616 universe, Uatu, who is on trial because one, he has been he has said that there is this alien race called the Reckoning who is coming to destroy their realm, and he wants the Watchers to join him in intervening. Now, if you know anything about the Watchers, they literally just watch. They're not allowed to intervene at all, and Uatu has done that numerous times in his existence, and so he's put on trial, and kind of like a Clockwork Orange thing going on here, where he watches, all the different times he has not done his job correctly, basically, and so his father puts him through this thing where he has to see what the world would be like if he didn't interfere, which is kind of neat. And things actually work out even better than how he thought it would. And so the moral's kind of like if he didn't, if he just watched and let things happen the way they would, there would be a much better progression and not like the constant cycle of destruction that there normally is. And we get to watch here when Galactus first comes, and or like when the Fantastic Four meets the Galactus, and instead of Uatu helping them out, they get to the brink of extinction, and together they work something out, and they create this ray that kills them. Yeah, it's definitely not like what the Watcher was thinking, but there's something more sinister going on here. There's still the Reckoning coming, and he's not off the hook yet. Alright, moving away from Marvel for a moment, we got new number one by Image Comics. This is Slumber. I absolutely love this. This is actually my pick of the week. Slumber, written by Tyler Burton Smith, drawn by Vanessa Cardinale. This is the cover B, that is done by the same cover artist. I really like this a lot. We have the main character here going through this door, and there's all these monsters there. You got a zipper head monster right here. The cover A is kind of similar, but like the inverted style. It shows the character walking through the door and covered in blood, so it's like she's returning back from where she came. Alright, so this one's really cool. We start off New York City, Queens, and we're at this crime scene. This is the 7th body found. There are 7 bodies, 7 matching crime scenes, but 7 different killers. Each of which have been stating that they were asleep when this happened, that they didn't kill this person. And there's these strange symbols that are seen in every crime scene. I seek the Dream Eater. No one is really sure what this is, but they find a business card here. Stetson, Dream Healer. Now, we go into Chapter 1, Dream Eater. We follow this character, Stetson, who, I don't really know exactly how to explain this, but I guess there's like a sleep center. People who have reoccurring nightmares or troubles with their dreams come here, and this character goes through this door here and into the person's dream world, which is really neat. I love how cartoonish it looks within the dream. And this guy is having like a birthday party, being chased by the tickle monster. And that's his big nightmare, apparently. But we have Stetson here, who's like a dream slayer. Oh, hold on. Gotta shut up for a moment and let you admire this page. Yeah, just like that last Moon Knight issue. But Stetson just comes in here and just starts killing these nightmares, and that's basically what she does. I'm really curious to see where this is going to go. I really love it, and we have this bunny here that has these markings on him, the same markings found at the crime scene, which Stetson seems to recognize and asks, where is Valkyra? So the rest of the story is just kind of getting to know Stetson some more, where she is mentally, because of all the things that she sees within these dreams. Spending so much time in other people's dream worlds takes a toll. But there's someone named Valkyra that she's after, and I'm really curious to see more. So that was really awesome. Alright, next here I have new one from Black Caravan. This is Pentagram of Horror. It's one of 5. This story is called My Own Hell. Now this is the first of a 5-part anthology series, and I really like Black Caravan. They're really cool. I have another one here, which I'll talk about in a moment. They always come in these real nice, thick cardstock covers, and at no extra cost too, which is really neat. I know like DC does like $1 extra for their card stock. But I really love the artwork in here. This is written and drawn by Marco Fontanilli. I really love this combination of black and white with the red background there. And that's kind of the theme here, I guess, I was so captivated by this story, I didn't even realize that the only color in this is red. Just like those black, white, and blood comics that Marvel's been doing recently. But it's really neat. We find this artist who is trying to seek fame, I guess, and trying to get fame by any means necessary, and basically sells his soul to the devil, who says, like, you have 10 years before I come to collect. 10 years you get to have what you desire most. And this guy does not become an artist. He figures that wasn't what he wanted, and just kind of sold his soul for no reason. And this one's just really cool. I highly recommend to pick this one up. The artwork's amazing. The story is just really eerie, and we get to watch this guy being tortured in hell, basically. And apparently he's been here for centuries. Like his memory of the beginning of this was just kind of part of his torture, to be in this endless loop of being reminded of his greatest mistake. And it's really cool. We have a really awesome moment here where it's kind of like Hellraiser style with the chains, if you've ever seen Hellraiser. And one last part I'll share of this. Yeah. That one was really cool. Now, next one I have up is also by Black Caravan, and this is the last #1 issue of the week. This is the Rad Wraith. Pretty sick cover. I really love it. The cover is done by the interior artist, Christian Debari. And the writer is Tristan Gallagher. We have a team of Tristan and Christian. And what's really cool about this is it's a wraparound. Yeah, it's sick. I love it. Now this one's really fun. We have there's this kid who's trying to hang out with these cool skater kids, and he wants to join their crew. So they have him go down this half pipe that is absolutely dangerous, and he completely face plants and wrecks himself. But then, like, all of a sudden, he's back. He's alive and kicking, and not really sure what happened last night. So I'm really curious to see what else they're gonna do here. The art in it is wonderful. My only guess is he's back from the dead for revenge, but doesn't realize it yet. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, because at the end here, with I think the leader or one of these kids, he comes back as this Rad Wraith, and starts to enact on his revenge. Yeah, I'd say check that one out too. It's really cool. Alright, next up I have here is Batman the Knight, #3. This one is really awesome. I have a really cool variant cover here for like the bat swarming in the back. No pun intended. This cover is done by Riccardo Federici. Not sure. Yeah, that one's really neat. This story's cool. So by the end of the last issue, we have some character that had Lucy, Bruce's thieving mentor, like with gun to her head. And we find out that this guy is a Henry Ducard, who's like a private investigator, and hired by Alfred to track down what has happened to Bruce. And simultaneously, while this is happening, in the last issue, there was like some mysterious box that the duo stole from some rich yahoo. Well, that rich yahoo is a Hubert Glenay. And apparently, the police thought he was targeted for this serial killer going by the name the Fawnlin, who murders these families and collects their teeth. Well, within this box, they find the teeth, or they find teeth in this box, which can only mean that this Glenay guy is the killer himself. They have now messed with the wrong person, and it's a pretty neat issue going to see like the lengths that this killer is going to keep his tracks clean, and what the now trio is deciding to do to bring him down, because this will be Bruce's very first attempt at trying to solve a crime, and it's really cool. He begins to learn more about his actions and or lack thereof, and the responsibility that comes around with these sort of things. It's been a really neat series. Alright, now going back to Marvel, we have the final issue for 10 Lives of Wolverine. X Lives of Wolverine, #5. So, this is the final one for Lives. Next week we'll have the final of Deaths. Now, this is a really cool variant cover done by Dodderman, Robert Dodderman, I think is his first name. I really love this. It's going to go really great with my other generation covers or whatever. We have Wolverine in all his ever many forms in this one. They packed the most Wolvies in this for sure. Because in my Powers of X number 6, there's like a few of them in there. And in the X Lives number 3, we got a few more. So it's like each time they do one of these type of covers, it seems to be growing in the population of Wolverines. So anyway, so this one was really cool. We got Xavier and Jean Grey trying to pull Wolverine's mind back from being controlled by Omega Red, and because they were sharing this mental like connection with each other, Wolverine knows exactly where to find Omega. So he transfers over to Russia, and the two of them have this really long, epic duel. Like, basically the whole last half of this issue is just the two of them really going at it. Claw to tentacle, as Wolverine puts it, or blade to tentacle, that's what he says. I really like this a lot. So as they're fighting, they show flashbacks of all the different times, you know, within the timeline that the two of them have been fighting against each other while Omega Red possessed various different enemies. Yeah, this one was really awesome. I'm kind of sad to see this end. We got one more issue to go, but the Death series has been fairly different from Lives, or they're not as parallel as I thought they'd be. But I say that, but then yeah, we ended up with we're back in Krakoa, and you know, the island is under attack. The war's not over because we have the Wolverine family, who we've been following in the last couple of X-Deaths of Wolverine. So, looking forward to see how that's going to connect next week. Alright, so we have Crimson Cage, number 4, AWA Upshot. This is a cover A done by the interior artist, Alex Cormett. It's really cool, love the blood on there. Getting so much closer to the ending here. Starts off with, let's see, we are introduced to this new wrestler, the Outlaw, Emmett Crow, and he is the next up for the title, which Chuck Frenzy cannot have, because he wants to keep his title. And it doesn't seem like, I don't know, there are times where I think he isn't a killer, but then, like, I don't know, it seems like he's really enjoying this new life that he has, and I don't know, he's visited again by the three witches, who are basically telling him that, yeah, this is it, your time's up unless you want to commit your full self to us. So we'll see what he decides to do. By the end of this, he's like, there's this really strange broadcast here where he puts the Outlaw into a hold, and he basically states out loud that it's his destiny to be the champion for all eternity. And I'm not sure if that's like a real thing or not, but then we have someone who's just watching it and just like, what's going on? So I'm trying to figure out what's going on too. That's wrapped up in one more month. But what is wrapped up now is Cloaked from Dark Horse Comics. This was such a great series. I absolutely loved it. But to be completely honest, I was actually very underwhelmed with this final issue. We get a little bit of like the past here, showing the mayor giving his condolences or whatever with the Sentinel, the hero who's missing, and everyone seems, or there's like a press conference here, and they all seem to be a little put off that the mayor is defending this vigilante who's literally murdered people, whether, to the public's knowledge, they're only criminals that are murdered, but that's still not necessarily right. So Jake, we're following Jake. He's now on the run because too many of the people he's been interviewing are dying, and the last person he saw died again, so they can't help but suspect he's the killer. But he is now meeting with this guy who is Bob Erickson. He's a former police officer that his contact connected him with. And this guy, he was on the force for a short bit. He got to meet the Sentinel for the first time, or the Reaper is what they called him on the streets. That's what he says. There was, some drug dealers that he killed, and he overheard the reporter saying that this guy single-handedly did all this on his own. Bringing down the drugs, and he goes up to, this Bob character goes up to the camera and states that there's actually more drugs on the street than ever. Then all of a sudden, the Sentinel starts shooting one of the guys who is already dead, and Bob makes a point that he goes down, and when it comes back up, there's a gun by the dead person's body, and the Sentinel says that he shot him out of self-defense, which doesn't make any sense at all. And the only thing that Jake can think of is that this is a whole cover-up. There's something bigger at hand. Someone is helping the Sentinel. Someone wants the Sentinel to clean the streets and basically brush everything under the rug. So Jake goes to tell all this to the man who hired him. And, big spoiler alert. Burr, 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 burr. The man who hired him is the Sentinel. And Jake figured it all out. Like, it all made sense. What this guy hired him to do was not to figure out who the Sentinel was, per se, but to track down all the loose ends that the Sentinel had to get rid of in order to stay on top. And the police are on the way. It's really crazy. Jake pulls out a gun on the guy, and this is the part that really makes me upset. We see the cops coming up here, and bang, that gun that Jake pulled out has been shot. And then the next panel, we just see this statue of the Sentinel, and I wish I remember this rich jerk's name, but the guy who is the Sentinel is there. So that gun was shot. This guy is still alive. The only thing I can think of is he wrestled the gun out of Jake's hand and killed him himself. But, yeah, I don't know. I was pretty disappointed with that ending. The story in general, though, was cool. Alright, I got 3-ish left for you all today. We're going to go back to Image Comics. This is Scorch number 3. Now, this is a variant cover, the cover B, done by Todd McFarlane, and it's an homage cover to Jim Lee's X-Men number 1, which is really perfect side by side. We got Gunslinger Spawn in place for Wolverine, Medieval Spawn for Cyclops, and Rats. I forgot to look him up. But yeah, Tormund and I were talking about this yesterday. We couldn't remember his name, but he was the guy. Oh man, it's like on the tip of my brain. But yeah, he took place of the Spawn symbiote for Al Simmons for a short bid, which was not that great. But anyway, that's not what this story is about. So we start off with these two characters, Sergei and Natasha, and they're speaking with what's his name? The Soul Crusher. And now, Soul Crusher is a fairly new villain for Spawn. He first was featured in issue 270, which I don't really have. And so it's, and they're like in, 320s now or something, so not too long ago. But, yeah, it's really cool. Sergei just sets this guy ablaze, right? Because he's done with this guy's mission to kill Spawn, basically, because Spawn, the symbiotes, the Spawn, the Hellspawns are the good guys. They're trying to get rid of all the angels and demon ties on Earth. What Soul Crusher thinks the opposite. Now we go back to our Scorch team, our Spawn Suicide Squad. Suicide Spawn. But they dropped this bomb on a group of angels who are like experimenting on I forget the kid's name, but hey, sorry about that. I clicked the pause button by accident. But yeah, so we have these group of angels who are pretty grotesque. experimenting on this guy. Not Redeemer. Oh yeah, right here, Reaper. Well, he goes by Reaper, and they're trying to extract the anti-spawn like symbiote that he has within him. And they believe that with this they can open up the dead zones, which is basically what has trapped all the angels and demons here. And because these angels have been away from God for so long, they're starting to like deteriorate and become grotesque like this. It's pretty sick. And then we go back to Spawn 309, which I think I have in my pile somewhere, but I'm not gonna look for it right now. And it's when we last see Reaper here, and he gets like attacked by one of these angels. See, this is what the angel looked like before, and this is them now. Pretty great. But the bomb drops, and Medieval Spawn comes down with it because he threw himself by accident. And they're all like, "Oh, your bomb failed to help you," but little did they know, inside this bomb is Plague Spawn, and he just tears them up with Medieval Spawn working beside him. They literally like tear each other apart. It's really great. And then the whole group comes down to help out, and Reaper is about to be killed by the Plague Spawn until Soul Reaper comes to help. But no, it's not the Soul Reaper that was just set ablaze. It's Sergei taking over the mantle with Natasha. Now she's been infected, and together they want to team up with the team, and they can actually put an end to all of this that's going on. And they reveal that who they have is not the true Plague Spawn. Which, if you remember from the previous issue, it's that Russian commander who injected himself with it. Let's see, another one from Image Comics. This is Reign number 3. This is the cover A, which I finally got the cover A. I've been doing like the variant cover for these, and each time I realize I like the cover A a lot more. But I really don't know what to say about this, which I'm sorry. It's a really good issue. It was too good. I finished reading this and I didn't take any notes down. I just kind of sat there and really thought it through. It touches on grief a lot. The main character is trying to make her way to Denver, find her dead partner's father, because that's all she has left, really. And they talk a lot about the metaphor of how grief is like a wave. And what I really love, towards the end here, when the main character is taken away by these criminals. Apparently they're going to go to Canada, which really sucks because they're so close to being in Denver. But she says this. Hey, so I don't actually know what happened there. I was about to start uploading this, and it's my camera or whatever had split the video apart. So to finish off what I was saying at the last part of the video, before this weird jump cut, I was trying to say I really like this thing that Honeysuckle says here, and it's facing grief is like standing on a beach and looking over the water. Some waves are small and lap at your feet. Some waves are huge and engulf you completely. The best you can do is pull yourself away from the shoreline, inch by inch, day by day, so fewer and fewer waves can touch you. I really love that a lot, and there's not much more I can say about this this issue. Yeah, I just really liked it. I didn't really take all that many notes, and I had to just sit there and really take it in. Now I have one final one, and again I apologize. I don't know what happened with the recording. I never hit stop, and I hit the pause button the one time, but that's different. So I don't know why it had stopped and then picked it up halfway through what I was talking about before. But this is Life Zero. It's the cover A, which is really sick. I love in the back here they have a list of all their other covers, and they had a wraparound cover which I'm a big sucker for, but I had to turn that down away because you can't beat that. Like, that's great. And just like Scorch, they also have a X-Men tribute there. But yeah, this was really neat. The world building is slow and steady, which I really like a lot, actually. And this Black Ops team, who they freed their captain, and he's asking them if they know what happened, and we get just a little bit more about the world, and there was just some kind of cloud that's covered up the city, and then everyone got infected, and this is my favorite part right here. Like, look at all those entrails like coming out. It's really great. Oh yeah, also trigger warning if you're squeamish, but too late. So anyway, we get to learn that. We also learn why he's in jail, and he mentions that his ex-wife was seeing this guy, which whatever, but the guy was abusing her, and so the captain went to beat the crap out of him. And there's a part where one of these ladies asks him if he was planning to teach him a lesson by beating him, and he's like, no, the police came before I got to like kill him. So I guess it's kind of good you didn't kill this guy. But it's been really cool. If you like zombies, check it out. I really like this nod here to Dawn of the Dead, because that's like a movie poster with the graphic there. Yeah, that one's neat. Check it out if you like zombies. Again, Slumber, highly recommend. This is my top pick of the week, and maybe my new favorite. I don't know, I love it. But thanks for watching, everyone. Sorry again about that blip in the middle there, but it happens. Until next week, I'll see you all then, except I won't actually see you because I'm on this side of the camera. Anyway, bye.